Hi, it's Rachel with Stirring the Deep. I want to share with you one part out of Revelation, it's chapter 12, and I want to talk about what is your defense these days when Satan, that lying spirit, is cast to the earth. Remember, the accuser is cast down in Revelation 12, and then he's going after the woman, and then he goes after the offspring. Okay, so these are lies flooding at you. That's what it is. Okay, so in verse 13 it says, "Now when the dragon saw that he had been cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman who gave birth to the male child." How does he persecute? Through lies, ultimately. Because if you have the truth, that is your shield, that is your guard, that is your protection. And there are many, many verses about that. Because when you're trusting in the truth, which is trusting in God, that is your protection in these days. But if you don't know what the truth is and you have all these lies, then you are going to be creating and walking in those and creating your own harm. Okay, verse 14, "But the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness to a place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the presence of the serpent." So the serpent spewed water out of his mouth like a flood after the woman. That's like, instead of like living waters, which is waters of truth, it's just like the bitter waters of wormwood. It's just lies after the woman. Okay? And this is the woman that gives birth to the male child. That is the ones who is that union of truth and wisdom. Wisdom and love coming up, the fullness of the child, of that spirit of Christ coming together in fullness within you. Those people that's coming and growing in, it is like a child. It's young within you. It grows within you. Okay, and that's that experience that many are experiencing right now. And so what is he wanting to do? Destroy what's happening within you by lies. But in verse 16, "The earth helped the woman, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon has spewed out of his mouth." That's where lies come from, out of your mouth. And he is the liar, father of lies. "And the dragon was enraged with the woman because he couldn't affect her. And he went to make war with the rest of her offspring who keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ." So there's many layers to this, as all scripture of understanding. But this earth helping the woman and swallowing it up, what that means is your experiences that you have learned truth. Because I remember I told you, when you're really in truth, your life is a testimony to you, meaning you see increasing love. You see increasing peace. You see how the truth, when you obey God and you walk in a certain way, it creates a certain result. When you walk in the wisdom of God, it's just not something that shows up in your life. Oh, there's just love and there's just peace. It comes from that union with that spirit of walking in that wisdom, because love is always grounded in truth. It always goes hand in hand. So as you've walked and obeyed God, because that's the whole reason to obey him, is because he wants to give you an abundant life. And if you will follow his ways, that's what you will have. That's the whole point of obedience. Not because God just needs you somehow to obey him, but obedience is what gives you the abundant life. Okay, so that's what happens is you start learning his truth, you hear him, and you follow his counsel, and you start walking in it, and your truth in that life testifies to you. You're like, wow, look at this life and all that's created because I've been walking in the ways of God. That testimony of your physical surroundings of the earth reflecting your truth, reflecting that you are in truth, is what swallows up those lies. So even if you start hearing lies about whatever, oh, you're not really God's chosen, oh, whatever, you're really on the outside, whatever he's trying to tell you you're not worthy, or God really doesn't love you, or he's going to reject you, or whatever it is, whatever lie it is, you can look at your life and go, okay, yeah, but look at my life. I see the love of his hand. I see my Father's work in my lives. I feel his presence. I hear his counsel. I see the wisdom playing out. It's not just something that's been this whole internal experience. It affects your physical world. When it's real, it affects your physical world. It just like when people walked with God in the Old Testament, they had blessing and prosperity and peace. That's what you start experiencing in your life, that is right for you, for your purposes. Okay? And that is what, and so when you see that testimony, that is the earth opening up and swallowing that, because those truths, that physical world testifying to the truth in your life, just swallows those lies. So this is a time period that I feel like we are entering in to. Okay? So the accuser has been cast out. So it's that whole shift in the dynamic of what's happening in the earth right now is changing. I told you that spirit is starting to grow in all its fullness in people. Thus that kingdom is being established. And there's that separation that's happening. The healing is coming. The destruction of death is coming, because it will be destroyed. That's the last enemy, death. Okay? But this is the death. This is how sin has its hold on us, which death is a result of sin, is by the lies. Okay, so that is how he's trying to discourage people that are growing. But look to your life, look to the witness around you, and see that, and focus on that, and don't turn your ear to any of those lies that he may be pouring your way. Till next time, keep stirring the deep. It's the one thing that changes everything else.